Alright, by my watch it's 3 o'clock, and that means we are going to start the stream. So, we'll go back to our file here. We're playing Ahead in Time again. Hope you all remember last time we kicked the Mafia out of Mafia Town, or, well, not really, but we defeated the Mafia boss and got our timepiece back, and that's what we cared about. We were betrayed by the nefarious mustache girl who stole half of our money. And she swore to use our timepieces in order to defeat evil and fight for justice, which means we have to stop her because we're true neutral and we don't like paladins. So today we're going to World 2, which is the Battle of the Birds. I'm going to let this speak for itself because I think the intro to this is pretty fantastic. So here we go. World 2, Battle of the Birds. Start.
This movie studio is too big for the both of us, DJ. Grooves. The movie should be made by real birds. You moon penguins are just gonna write some loud, noisy dribble. If I wanted a bunch of picnics to dance around while on birdseed, ha! I'd visit my grandchildren.
Nonsense, darling, nonsense. You Owl Express birds are just gonna record another boring train-related western. You've done so for the last 10 years, darling.
What? No, we haven't, you buffoon!
Conductor, darling, this year we'll be winning the annual Bird Movie Award, as our new movie props will bring in the audiences. These shiny things fell from the sky. They will light our movie sets and fill them with glimmer.
Oh, yeah? Well, this time around, we're also spicing it up with our newest movie props. These hourglass thingies will be the grand jewel in our train heist western. What the what? You no good, dirty picnics! You copied our props!
I would never, darling. Clearly, you're the one who took inspiration in my flashy new props.
Oh, that does it! Get out of here with ya! I've got a movie to record!
Fine by me, darling. But we'll be the ones who win the annual Bird Movie Award. Mark my word.
Oh, yeah? Let's see how well you do when you can't get into the reception. Oh, wait, shutting the picnics inside the studio will force them to work hard. Alright, time to go, Owls. Let's make our killer movie. Oh, and receptionist, can you please close off that vent already? I don't want the smell of penguin to come anywhere near my crew.
Alright, so we're in Deadbird Studios
I
now.
wanted to ask this reception guy a question, but he hasn't acknowledged me at all. But now I've been standing here for so long, it'd be awkward to start up a conversation. I really suck at interacting with other birds.
I suppose I'll get through some of the dialogue here. Gotta talk to some people. You may recognize the voice of the receptionist here.
Oh, hey, little chirper. They're recording right now, so no one's allowed in. You're only insured for bird staff. Letting you in would be a liability. Don't even think about sneaking inside.
Never dream of it. Yeah, so you can wear sunglasses out of this dispenser here. You can wear 2 pairs at once, but then it explodes. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. You get a bill for this level.
You see my fingers here? You see how they're snapping? That is the universal bird sign for beat it. Oh look, my fingers have taken a liking to you. Look at them go. Snap, snap, snap.
Beat it! Beat it! No one wants to be defeated. Oh wow.
Hey, little girl! You should join our DJ Gru's fan club. You get a membership card and everything. It's a real good deal for any movie-going bird.
So, I'm not going to talk to every single person in the lobby, but the basic idea here is that these owls and these penguins are both trying to make movies, and we need to help the both of them make films because they're going to use our timepieces as props, so we need to get onto the set to swipe them. There's also a big award ceremony they're fighting over. The owls have won it many years running, and the penguins are thirsty for revenge.
Welcome, young one. Please make a purchase at my humble stall.
Now, as you can see, we've already racked up 3,000 pawns in fees, but I'm not worried about that. I'm gonna buy. So this, I love this level. Well, first, I gotta go. The No Bonk badge is one of the best badges in the game, and I'm gonna show off why right now. Okay, it auto-equipped it for us. So I'm gonna unequip it to show off what happens when you don't have it on. If you don't have the No Bonk badge on and you dash into a wall, you just smack face first into it, right? Once you equip the No Bonk badge, that doesn't happen anymore. And if you do it in the air, you can wall run up the thing. Oh, that was deceptive. We're gonna do just a regular wall. Yeah, you can transition directly into a wall run, so it's way, way better than just not having you bounce off of things. It gets you a ton of mobility, and I'm gonna have it equipped for the rest of the entire game. So, this is one of the most unique concepts for a video game level ever. And in it, it's a big stealth level. And normally, I really, really hate stealth levels in non-stealth games, but this game pulls it off really well. I did get stuck down here, it's a little embarrassing. Oh, come on. That's a great camera angle. We're gonna stick to that. Very visually appealing. Only the best. So this is a stealth level that doesn't suck, and I'll go over why as we get into it. So that little bill up there is our high score, essentially, for the level. Damaging stuff, getting spotted. Oh, like such. Oh. Yeah, damaging stuff, getting spotted. It increases our score there. So there's an achievement for getting through here without getting spotted by even one thing. But I messed it up immediately to show off the features. So what makes the stealth in this fantastic is that cone of vision is very strict. If you are just like an inch to the side of it, they can't see you. They don't hear you, so you don't have to worry about any of that or any other mechanics that the game is not equipped to handle, like body finding or non-lethal takedowns or anything of that sort. The other deal is that you can briefly get spotted, and you have till those bars fill up in order to get out of the way before you actually take damage and get spotted and such, so you have plenty of time. And that's the best part, because it's very forgiving. You're not just going to walk around a corner, get no warning, and then immediately get smacked with a failure. The other deal is that if you get discovered, you just take damage and go back to your last checkpoint, so it's not a complete mission failure either, and I feel that goes a very long way as well. The very, very biggest deal is that you can get around almost all of the stealth challenges by making crazy good use of your platforming skill set. So you're not trying to master a second set of sneaking controls, you're just trying to use the controls you already have in a different context. The stealth enemies here serve as a different kind of obstacle, but they're still running by the same rules of the game that you've been practicing and honing for the whole thing, so that is the most important part to me. And what makes this just the only stealth level in anything that I'm willing to replay and enjoy. And it's not the entire world. Battle of the Birds isn't stealth-based, but there's quite a bit of it. And it doesn't appear anywhere else, so that's Sprint Yarn. We will unlock a new hat in this world, but we haven't found the yarn for it yet. Which is fine. Oh. Hold on, it's right there. And I remembered we need to go get it. That is a downside of the No Bonk badge right there, is you can sometimes get clipped onto walls when you're trying to dash past them. But that has more to do with my clumsy ass than poor design or anything like that. So this is ice yarn. If we get 8 pieces of yarn, we can stitch a new hat. We don't have enough yarn yet. as you could see. So I will wait to show off what the ice hat does, or I'll wait to describe it until I can show it off. Oh. I mistimed that. I thought he was going to turn faster. Let's see. What the heck? Oh, that's right. The deal with this is that the lever is not. Okay, so I need to wait until he's about to turn around and then get through. Yes, this is Deadbird Studios. This is our intro to it. And this is also kind of just the most standard of the stages. Each of the stages in this world from this point on will have sort of crazy unique twist to them because they're all filming movies. I think it's technically possible to get through here without accruing any fees at all, or at least pretty close. But I've never been able to get. I didn't sit here and do the achievement or anything. Camera's a little stuck. There we go. I want to be down here. So he's puppy guarding the lever. Oh! Whoops. Stuck over there for too long. That's okay, we'll come from the direction we're kind of supposed to come at it from. Oh. I'm also a huge fan of the soundtrack in this level, specifically this area here. We're gonna do a little skip. Oh, I placed that poorly. We're gonna try that again. Remember where I came from. Here we go. Get a little disoriented in this level. Oh, they thought of that. They might have actually patched that up since the last time I tried that. The game has gone through quite a bit of revision since it came out, and I don't habitually replay this level like I do some of them. And they did fix some skips and exploits. So we are nearing the end of this stealth gauntlet here. Got in here, we got, looks like DJ Grooves filming some kind of disco film. He's got a lot of, he does very old school. They both do very old school kind of movies. The Conductor is big on train heists, and DJ Grooves and his Moon Penguins are all about these crazy, like, 1950s and earlier sort of musical films. The kind of thing they might put on Mystery Science Theater 3000 now, starring, like, Paul Anka. Speaking of exactly that, if you've never seen Girls Town, it's just the dumbest, weirdest, best old movie. I don't even know what to... Oh no! I'm a huge sucker for those old school stories of teenagers and youth run amok. What's happening to our nation with all these crazy young people? Like, that is my favorite genre of old bad film. By a huge margin. We totally just bunny hopped a guard there. And we're at the end. So that's just the first. We'll sort of have our choice of what to do after this.
Magnificent. Stunning. This trophy is everything I desire. On the shelf in my living room. Of course, this big trophy is just a plastic replica. The actual trophy is really tiny. Oh my, what is that I see? Is it true inner beauty? An innocent soul with a heart of gold? Oh no, it's just a little girl. Hello. Oh wait, you're not a penguin. Oh, that's good. I could use some non-penguin company around here, as all my penguins are frankly terrible actors. Here's the biz. I need your help. I'm on a terrible losing streak, and I just have to win this next annual Bird Movie Award. There's no doubt I absolutely must have you as the star. Here, let me take care of this.
Yeah, there's a reason I wasn't worried about that.
We need to give you a bird passport, darling. Step right over here.
This is super neat. I like this.
The most important part of a passport is the picture, darling. You have to look flashy and stunning. Step right over here. Let's take the pic. Okay, put on a smile and stand still, please. Don't move.
Oh, you actually have to turn the camera to look over there. Well,
Let's see
then.
how the picture turned out.
I haven't done this in a little bit.
Oh, darling, you're not very photogenic.
Oh.
We've got to fix this ugly mugshot up with some old-fashioned photo doctoring. Here, take these markers and turn yourself into the most stylish, fashionable young lady.
Well, you know what they say. Show business is a hideous bitch goddess. So, we have... You can actually draw all over your character portrait here. And it's pretty cute. But I'm not going to be wasting time on it because I'm very bad at it. So we're just going to do the traditional sort of lazy handlebar mustache. A goatee. And devil horns. I am doing this with an Xbox controller, which is not easy. And I just am not good at art at all. We're just gonna abandon this. This is good enough.
Perfect! Let's slide this picture into your passport, and here you go. One passport for you.
Now I'm an official bird. I'm legally a bird now, I think.
Wonderful, darling. Oh, just wonderful. Meet me at the movie set tomorrow, and we'll make you a star.
Hey! What do you think you're doing? Oh, you can't just jump in and fiddle with the annual Bird Movie Awards. That's fraud! Fraud! Hey everyone! We've got a fraudster over here! Oh, where are my owl guards at? Why are the owls so darn useless? Alright, listen here, lass. You're in big trouble. If you're helping crooked DJ Grooves rig the awards, and I can't take you to jail, then you're got to help me even the score. That's right. You're got to be the star of my movies too. Here, hold our newest prop. Practice showing it off and bring it to my movie set tomorrow. You got that? Don't be late.
So that conductor, by the by, the super Scottish accent guy, he's the same guy who plays Scrooge McDuck in the reboot of DuckTales. Stand still, laddie! Oh hey, we opened the third world already. We're not going there quite yet. Soon though, because we can't finish World 2 without an object from World 3. There's a bit of backtracking, but the game is very nice and tells you when you're about to run into it. So, here we have the main gimmick of our world, which I kind of alluded to earlier. On the left, we have DJ Grooves movies. And on the right, we have DJ Grooves movies. And on the left, we have the Conductors movies. And we have to take turns helping them create films. And each one's a level. It's crazy. Is it David Tennant? I don't know for sure. I just know that I recognized the two when I was watching both. So, we'll start with... Man, they're both really good. We'll do Murder on the Owl Express because I've been wanting to show this one off, even though it means I'm not going to be talking a whole much because it's a lot of cutscenes, but they're very good. This is where the writing in the game gets just phenomenal. Hold on to your butts. Maybe the best splash art in the game, too. This or the Big Parade, which is coming up very soon. Note sepia tone, because it's an old train movie.
Welcome back, lassie. I haven't written the script for my next movie yet, so we're not recording.
George Lucas never let that set him back.
I'll call for you when the script is ready.
Why, hello there, fellow owl. I don't believe we've had the pleasure of meeting. As you can tell, I am also an express owl. I do much hooting. From one owl to another, we can share details, yes? What is your uncle's sister's maiden name?
So, I'm just gonna be quiet about this until we're done with it. Because they do something really fantastic with all of this. But I will be filling in nonsense, obviously.
I see. This is the kind of uncle's sister's maiden name I would expect from a fellow express owl. Hello, fellow express owl. Do you care about security? I care about security a whole lot. You should not be going around telling information to strangers. It could be a security risk. I can help your daily life become more secure. What is your favorite combination of letters and numbers?
They don't have a full number pad up here, which means you can't do all sorts of stuff. So I'm just gonna go,
I see.
That's not the password to anything. Don't check.
Is also my favorite combination of letters and numbers.
Did you notice that there's suddenly a lot of crows on this train? They all got on at the last stop. Speaking of, at which stop did you get on the train? What do you mean you fell from the sky?
Did you know that having a pet helps improve self-confidence and relieve stress? Did you also know that pets can have pets? It is true. Unfortunately, us express owls are not allowed to have pets. It is a sacrifice we must make in the name of hooting. But if you had a pet, what do you think the name of your pet's childhood pet would be? Is certainly an interesting name for a pet, even for a pet's pet.
So these crows here, the Caw agents, are a reference to a Psychonauts level called the Milkman Conspiracy. Look that up sometime if you want a good laugh, because it's also fantastic.
Have you noticed all these crows around the place? They keep asking for personal details, and I never know what to answer.
Oh, hello, fellow express owl. I am stuck on an advanced mathematical and scientific issue. Do you see this advanced formula on the blackboard? I cannot decipher it. Can you decipher the scientific formula for me? What does it say?
DC before I lose.
I see. The solution is... It was obvious. Thank you, fellow express owl. And thank you for agreeing to the terms and conditions on the backside of the blackboard.
We've almost talked to all of these guys.
Do you ever wonder what it would be like to be a superhero? The most important feature of a superhero is the name. Every superhero needs an intricate name to their fame. If you were a superhero, what would your name be? If entered on an online form with standardized account identification requirements.
There are not a lot of letters for this, so hopefully what I have will fit. I think it will. Yes, the Disembowler. That's what I should make for my superhero character.
That name is great. I can already
He cuts off people's jowls.
Savior of justice. I'll just write your answer down here real quick.
So we want to get it up here, but it's locked. And we have to search around a bit.
Express owls all have parts of our body we're ashamed of. This is why some owls choose to pluck their feathers. Which body part of yours are you the most ashamed of, fellow express owl?
I'm gonna go ahead and avoid all the lewd stuff because my main character's like 9.
Express owl, you shouldn't be ashamed of your... But you'd better get your Checked out by a doctor. I read online it could be a sign of bird flu.
So we gotta go all the way up here to get the... Get some more ice yarn. And good, we can create the ice hat, because this helps us get around a little bit in this level. This is the ice hat, it lets us do a ground pound. We are invincible while we sit here in stone statue form, which I think is based on a power-up from Super Mario Bros. 3. And we can hold it for as long as we hold down the button, but we're completely immobile while we're doing this. It's not very useful as an attack, but it is good as a panic button. Oh, here's that key for that lock we were looking for.
Wait! Don't come in here! I lost my contact lens somewhere. Please, don't step on it. I can't move out of the way. I might step on it myself.
So this, I pointed out this little detour because it actually serves a design purpose, which I'll get to in a second. We're about to start the actual level. This has been sort of preliminary. We get a Deerstalker hat, because we Sherlock Holmes.
Is this secure with the hat? I hope you like my present. Go to the Megatrain. Your Uncle Sister has come to visit you. You better show your fam some love, or I'll be talking to a corpse next time.
That voice is some YouTube personality, but I don't know who it is off the top of my head. We don't actually have to keep the Deerstalker hat on. I maybe will, just because it's cool, but for now I'm gonna dash.
Murder! On my Owl Express?
I think he sort of crosses the ham horizon here.
I can't believe someone would murder one of the Express Owls. And I can't believe even more that it's your uncle's sister. What do you have to see for yourself? Ooh, you're giving me the quaint treatment, eh? That's what a murderer would do.
Get the scenery out of your mouth.
Leave this case to us. We're Caw, the Crow Agent Watch. We've been monitoring everyone on this train since the last station. We'll be searching the entire train for evidence. No one is allowed to go outside of this wagon.
What? I can't even walk around in my own train? Oh, how dare ya!
Once the clock hits midnight, we'll get off at the station with the murderer in cuffs. Stay here while we investigate further.
So the clock actually ticks down when you enter specific doors. You also get crime-solving finger guns. So, that's sort of the deal here, is that we need to sneak around the train and look for evidence of who the murderer is without getting caught by the crows or the owls. Aw, really? That's too bad. They sound very, very similar. So there's our first piece of evidence. That one's just pretty much laying out in the open, because who else would you suspect? But there are a lot of really great answers if we keep looking around. Oh, I suppose I can show off what the ice hat does now, since we've got a spot to do it right here. So, this is the ice hat. There are these ice platforms, and if we ground pound on them, it sends us sailing across the level. You probably saw some of them earlier in Mafia Town, if you remember properly. There are a bunch of them around. So yeah, like I say, this is a stealth level I can get behind just because the mechanics don't really change. By being skillful, you can go faster, so it doesn't slow the game to a crawl. and it's still testing the same reasonable set of skills that it was testing before you entered the stealth area, so it's not just this huge shakeup. Avoids a lot of the things that make stealth areas in non-stealth games very frustrating.
So you think you can just sneak around the train like this? Just drop the detective act. You'll never catch the real murderer. You can point your finger at someone without clues. The clock is ticking. Will you be able to find the clues to point your finger at the murderer?
Never you mind what I do with my finger. Brewing yarn. We gotta start saving up for our next hat early because it's gonna be 16 pieces of yarn. And this is a good level to farm it in because there's a lot of nooks and crannies they reward you for being on top of. So, we got all the way up here only to realize we need another key. But that's okay, because they give us a little floaty platform down there to bounce us back up. My first time through the game, I did not have the ice hat here, and it was kind of a pain, but it's not, like, undoable or anything. You just miss out on a couple of little extras and a couple of shortcuts. So this is the deal. These guys will detect us, but if we wait until they're laughing, we can go by, so they're a timed moving obstacle. I don't know if I've said it on the official stream or not, but that is the only acceptable speed for your character to go up or down a ladder in a video game, and I wish everybody else would figure that out. Especially if they're going to be putting huge ladders everywhere. So, this is one of those shiny, glowy things we can blow up with the brewer hat. Oh, so that's a relic piece. I think I talked about those last time. But just as a quick refresher, if we find all the pieces of the same relic, we can assemble it together and get a new... it'll open a new time rift for us. Which gets us a new timepiece as well as a new really crazy challenge. The ones you get for the relics are the purple time rifts, which are different than the ones we normally do, the blue ones. Because the blue ones are just sitting out in the level. Also, the blue ones all have that sort of Super Mario Sunshine thing going on, where they're just these big sort of rotating blocks in space. But the purple ones are quite different. They've got a very different sort of thing going on with them. We'll see. I'm not trying to be coy. I have no idea how I would describe it in any way that'd be meaningful till you can see it. So. I don't think I'm gonna get all of the evidence. If you get all the evidence, you get a higher score. Oh, and so here's something I didn't talk about earlier that I really should have, which is that this is actually a battle between those two directors. The better you do on each of their movies, you'll get better review scores. And whoever does better in their two films will win the award, and they'll be the final boss. And you get a different final boss for this chapter, depending on who wins the Battle of the Birds. I believe they share an attack pattern, but they have unique dialogue and such, so it's pretty interesting. And it's just a crazy good boss fight anyway, so... Speedrunners can get directly up to this button from the very first part of the carriage and get through this section of the level in like 2 seconds. This scene is obviously an homage to Metal Gear Solid 2 with all the Marines with the screens. There's lots of little callbacks and shoutouts in here. I've probably missed half a dozen just keeping talking. As it should surprise nobody, my Peter Parker-esque answer is both. because it gives me a piece of evidence. Fortunately, I don't think you're actually timed for this part, because I probably would have screwed it up if I was. Just now. Okay. I gotta take the Deerstalker off and switch to the... I didn't even have the Deerstalker on! What the hell? This one is much easier with the sprint hat. So, you go back and you talk to your pet.
Thank you, kind human, for saving me. I found this clue on the murderer. Hope it helps you.
But yeah, this gives you a, that gives you a clue, and for the longest time playing this, I didn't figure that out, and I was one clue short of 100%ing this level, and it drove me nuts. Did you see that? That was massive. That was magic. Magic. Heal me up a little. Without the ice hat, you have to work your way back through the whole level, or that whole little room. It's kind of a pain. I really like the layout of this room in the level in particular, because the way it's built, you do a lot of backtracking, but it's not painful because you can get through that room very quickly, and it feels good to get through there fast. And that's how you clear the sauna. I just made that look really easy. The sauna is actually kind of a tricky room. I mean, not... whatever. None of the stealth is particularly hard, as you can probably tell, because I'm doing it so effortlessly and I'm just trash at stealth. If you've seen me play Snake Eater. Man, I should stream Snake Eater. That would be a fantastic time. That game is crazy. Oh no. If I have the occasional complaint about the game, it's that it is very easy to get stuck on a wall when you're trying to just run past it or slide by it. And I'm not sure if I'm doing something wrong there. Oh. Concentrate for a sec. Now those two are synced up like they shouldn't be. Oh no! Oh no! I'm actually kinda... Oh. So, that sucks. I really screwed that up. That was supposed to bring me to a button that opens up a elevator that gets me back up there quickly. So that was the worst possible place to fall off. But that's okay. I should be able to do this again. Oh. Man. No matter how many times you practice a neat trick, sometimes it just doesn't come together for you in the actual play, you know? Alright, so now I push this button. Gives me elevators working. I'm always going too fast in that room. Oh, if you have the sprint hat on and you just hold the use hat button, she will jog in place and it's super cute. Oh, did I miss... I think I might have missed the very best of the evidence, which is unfortunate. You can accuse yourself, and she'll say it was the only way to make the voices stop.
So, who done it?
What do we think, chat?
We don't know. We couldn't find any conclusive evidence. We have no idea who murdered this owl.
What? So you've done pickle to solve the case. Who's the murderer?
Hey, what's
Which
up?
one of you
Haven't
did
seen you
it?
in a while, Walker. So, spoiler alert, they're all the correct choice. Or at least, they're all about equally correct. I think, if nobody has any objections, I'm just gonna pick the victim. I mean, that's a classic mystery sort of conclusion, right? How did Encyclopedia know?
The victim did it.
Yeah, I mean, it said that he pulled the knife out of his left pants pocket, but he has a cast on his left arm, so there's no way he could have pulled the knife out of his left pocket with his right hand while running.
Wait, does that make it a suicide?
It seems you've seen through my charade.
Super special awesome plot twist!
The Owl Express, and I just decided to, fake my death with this rubber knife. Well, all this trouble isn't worth it. I'll just start cleaning up now.
Well, thanks for solving the murder, lassie. Not only did you reveal the murderer, you also revealed that the victim was never harmed. And you gave us intense footage for the movie. What? You think I'd let a murder happen on my Owl Express? Oh, think again. That was all just a setup for my newest Owl Express movie. Murder on the Owl Express. Oh, you think DJ Picnic will make a movie that's even remotely as good? Ha! I think not. Here, take this thingamajig and get out of here.
So each of the birds has two movies. They each have one that's more cutscene and story based, and one that's more action skills based. This was obviously one of the cutscene ones. There's a whole lot of that. The first film for each of them is the one that moves a little slower and has a little more interaction. So, we can speed through this, but I'm just gonna let it sorta... Some girl is Detective Useless. You know what? I'd put it on my resume. So that's pretty good. 600 points, man, that might be tough to top. So yeah, like I say, the scores, you get scored for how you did on each movie, and then based on who had the better films, you fight a different end boss, which I think is really interesting. Oh my lord, okay, I need to go unlock that door because it's going to be yapping at me every time I beat a level. I'm not actually going to go into World 3 yet. We will soon though, maybe even today. It's fantastic. Maybe the best world in the whole game, World 3. Like IMO, best world in the whole game. Battle of the Birds is a close second though, I really like this one. When that fills all up, the finale's available, as you might have guessed. This level is, it's unique. Some people really, really like this level, and I don't, hate it, but some people, I mean, they love the background music, they love the cutscenes, they love everything about this one.
Welcome to the first day of shooting, darling. We need to transform you into the biggest movie star the bird world has ever seen. You need to become a diva. That's why I've called for a press conference here on our moon set. You need to get out there in front of the cameras and electrify the public, darling. Get them really up and going for your movies. Once you've got them going crazy, come back here and we'll show off our new prop. That's right. We'll unveil our new movie prop to the masses.
Okay, so we need to fill up our fan club. We do that by taking pictures with people. Oh, I missed it. Well, we take pictures. Pop. And we perform little events. And we can stand in front of people with that shiny stuff coming out of them and sign autographs and such. Whoa. The moon set is the worst for getting stuck on stuff when you're trying to dash around. Oh, the DJ Grooves tokens here start events.
Looks like it's endorsement time. All you penguins out there know my name. DJ Grooves. And I'm telling you, this young girl here is the next hot thing, guaranteed. Just look as she'll climb up this statue and rescue the poor puppy that has gotten stuck. Right, darling? Look at that! She helped the puppy down safe and sound. Too bad it ran off and Devlin didn't break into multiple pieces. This is truly a diva I can get behind. Let it be known that this little girl is all about animals. Make sure you join her fan club, DJ Grooves. Out.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot. There's cars in this level. So you do this set twice. They use the sets twice, once for each film. But this one, you do a very different sort of thing for the second film. I mean, I guess you do in the train set as well, but it just feels very weird because the terrain feels very fundamentally different. Oh, there's an endorsement. We pretty much just have to go do all the endorsements is the deal.
Call, darling. Looks like it's endorsement time. All you penguins out there know my name, DJ Grooves. And I'm telling you, this young girl here is the next hot thing, guaranteed. Watch as she beats these hard-boiled card players at their own game on her first try. This game is easy to understand, darling. You just guess which number of card the other player's holding from 1 to 10. Which card do you think he's holding, darling?
From 1 to 10? I mean, gosh. I guess 12.
Wow, fantastic, incredible! The answer is indeed 3! Folks at home, you have just witnessed the stunning intuition of a true star! Make sure you join her fan club, DJ Grooves! Out.
You know, I really feel like as the promo man, it's his job. I shouldn't have to worry about any of this stuff. So, why make it easy on him?
Wow! Thanks.
Call, darling. All you penguins out there, look at how street smart this diva is. She's standing in this sinister alleyway right next to some potential wrongdoers. Danger is her middle name, and she's not afraid to step outside of her comfort zone. Make sure you join her fan club, DJ Grooves. Out.
Oh. Maximum Diva.
The audience is going crazy, darling! Come over here and show off our new stunner. Our new prop!
Isn't Maximum Diva when you, like, propose on your best friend's wedding? And then feel really insulted when other people think you did something shitty afterward? So, spoiler alert, the conductor wins almost every time because DJ Grooves levels are a lot harder. I did get DJ Grooves to win, but that was by, on my main file, I have a high score on the Big Parade of 788 points, and I'm not even sure that's possible anymore, given bug fixes and whatnot. So... oh, I might not have enough pawns for it. That's unfortunate. I had to buy that no bonk badge and just impulse buy everything. Well, yeah, I'm short 50 pawns. Well, that means we're gonna go... whoop, didn't want to do that. That's disorienting. You know, I could just find this time rift. It ain't hard to find. And that might get us enough pawns to do it. So yeah, we need to buy enough pawns for the next level, but I plan to just because the Big Parade is one of my favorite levels in the whole game, and I really want to show it off. It's got the best song. Well, not the best. Second best song on the soundtrack.
Did you know?
Oh, F off.
You. What do you think the name of your pet's childhood room?
Bye, crows. Just need to get to the time rift. I don't need to actually finish the level again. So. Cookies! They're the taste of happy. Oh, I like this one. This is the... So there's 2 time rifts per world, and then the 3rd purple one. And... boy, the Battle of the Birds has some tough ones. Oh, I wasn't supposed to do that. This one is the easier of the 2. And I say that only so I can be super humiliated when I lose it over and over again. But the other one, the one for the big parade, is considered to be one of the hardest in the whole game, maybe the hardest in the whole game, because you have to do it with the big parade's level gimmick, which is these owls that follow you around and make your life hell. I like these little platforms. They are very interesting in terms of what they do for your... like, just in terms of where you want to land on them. They really make good use of the game's... Ooh, whoa, that looked closer than it was. In terms of where you want to land on these little platforms, they make very good use of the game's multiple options for mid-air movement. Right? Because they constantly require you to adjust your position and kind of read where it's going to be going in a few seconds, but they move so fast. So the trick is, of course, that you just err on landing toward the center of the platform, but that's also where the platform is narrowest. So it really... it causes some unique trade-offs in terms of what it wants you to do, and it has you make these decisions very split-second, very naturally. It just makes good use of the strengths of the movement system. Aw, I'm misjudging a lot of distances here. Ah. So these guys, I really don't like these guys. They're not like one of the hardest enemies in the game, but they're a pain in the butt. They're always showing up in midair to screw with you. And particularly, sometimes the only real warning you'll get that one is coming is that snapping sound, and you have like a quarter of a second to move before you get crushed. You have no idea which direction you want to move in, really. Fortunately, like I say, this is the easier of the 2 time rifts in this world. I don't think I collected 50 pawns in there. So we might have to go start up the 3rd world, but that's not the end of the world. I don't like that hat flare. Oh, I took it. Yeah, well. This is, I'm still very rusty at talking and playing at the same time, and it gets very confusing in terms of which input I'm hitting. I'm just an old, decrepit man, I don't know what to tell you. Drooling into my long beard as it waits to choke the life out of me. So, we will go start the first part of World 3. World 3 is, like I say, my favorite world in the game. It has an incredible voice actor in it that I like very much. And I hope this is a career-making turn for him, because I think this is his first game. I know he's got some other thing going on. I think he's a YouTube personality or voices animations or something like that, but not in a professional capacity, really. As much as that makes sense. It's a very blurry line these days sometimes. So, this guy, or somebody right up around here urges you to climb this tree. And it looks like you should be able to climb this tree. And you can, but it's obscenely difficult. And I was so furious because I started playing this the day I got it right. And I got to this level that same night. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna have to climb this tree. Whatever, no problem. It's very hard. And I was afraid that I'd hit a gigantic difficulty spike and the rest of the game was gonna be that hard. But I'm pretty sure this tree is the hardest platforming challenge in the game. I'm gonna take a couple of shots at it right now. There's a relic piece at the top of it, so for 100% completion we do need to do it, but just to complete the game it's not necessary at all. But I feel like the placing of this is a little, They got a whole big old forest full of stuff that's hard to pass to get through to get to this, if they wanted to put it there, and instead they put it right at the start of the level behind you. It makes it feel like the sort of thing you're going to have to do, and I'm pretty proficient with the controls now, haha, knock on wood, fingers crossed, but I fell off of this thing just probably 3 or 4 dozen times the first night I played this. Yeah, ideally you land in such a place that you don't have to climb all the way back up again, but that doesn't often happen. Well, and I also feel like, okay, so, not to just be all bitchy about this, but the engine doesn't handle stuff of this organic shape very well. And there's a lot of times where you can't, you're on the edge of something and you feel like you're going to just walk up onto it, but you wind up wall running on nothing, and hitting the top of it and just sort of sliding down into the abyss. And there's a lot of just, it's a little unclear when and where you're going to land. Okay, one more shot at this. If I fall down again, I'm just going to scrap it, because I have not gotten very far up. And we don't have to do this now. We can do this in roughly any order. It could be the last thing I do in the game before the 100% finale. And I'm going to shut up and make it serious time. Never mind, I dropped. We're just gonna do it later. That's fine. I'm probably a little tired today, and you know, I've had a cold recently, but I would totally kick its ass. Oh. Yeah, I agree, the drop shadow is not ideal. Especially in this dark palette, it really blends in. Oh my god. So meet the Snatcher. Well, I mean, I agree with you, Walker. It is pretty clumsy for a speed run so far. You have no choice but to do this, obviously. So yeah, you get your... He's telling you what your contract looks like here. And that's sort of the gimmick here. We've sold our soul to the devil, and now we need to do his dirty work. And he has. Which is nice, because it tells you what you need to do. So we're going to do one round of this, simply because it's easier than redoing the level. So these plums, cherries, apples, they absorb these spirit things, turn into bombs, and you can use them to blow stuff up. They're a major mechanic of this level. As are these weird eyeball things, that they're staring at objects and you need to destroy a cup hat. I don't think I understand. So that's Dweller Mask yarn. It gets us the Dweller Mask. Surprise, surprise. But we need 12 yarn and we only have 9, so... need to be working on that. I'm 3 pawns short. So I just need to collect 3 more pawns while I'm at this. There are these fire barriers all over the level, but we can clear them up in a little bit. Oh, yeah, because you sell your soul to the devil, right? Yeah, I get it. I'm smart, I get jokes. Okay, so our first deal is to clear out the fire spirits. Which we will need that painting unfrozen for. But I should go actually trigger the quest first before I get moving.
Hello there! You didn't forget about me, did ya? Don't tell me you forgot about me. What's up? You working on any contractual obligations lately? You better be. Remember our little deal? Check it out! Those incredibly annoying fire spirits are sitting right there, in the middle of my village. Their little dances creating these incredibly annoying barriers that stop me from getting to parts of my forest. It's almost like they're trying to put an end to me. How adorable. Dispose of them! I don't care how you do it, as long as they suffer for entering my domain. Anyways, back to work, Trooper. This isn't a vacation, and I'm getting impatient.
Starship Trooper, go sailing on by.
We want to die. Yay!
Yay!
We want to burn bright and then burn out. Become a cloud of smoke.
I think Neil Young wanted that too.
Our bonfire needs more fuel. Only the finest paintings will do. Can you help us?
So I love this side quest, and this is a recurring thing you do, where you gotta toss these paintings onto the fire so that you can fuel with priceless art. Hey, hey, my, rock and roll will never die. I was gonna do It's Better to Burn Out Than Fade Away, but that's my hey hey, which I probably could have figured out had I thought of the rhyme scheme. Although in my defense, those songs are extremely similar. I was trying to do the cheater jump. Oh well, we'll do it the legit way. One of these days I'll be good enough I'll have a trick land in the middle of a run, and then my skill won't be entirely an informed attribute. Yeah. I remember the auto aim being a little more generous on these paintings, to be honest. It's kind of a pain in the ass. Oh, come on. Sheesh. That's good. I was gonna have to pause the episode so I could go find a clip of Yakety Sax to play over it for a second there.
I'll borrow you real quick.
There we go. So we got rid of these jobbers. This opens up more parts of the forest.
That's right! What? You're a plumber now. Congratulations on your promotion. That's why some other work feel that I can undo myself. And hey, as long as I need you, you get to stay alive. What a deal. But enough talk. You look like you can handle multiple things on your plate at once. Let's give you an additional contract. Pick one, but only one. Isn't it thrilling to sign your life away?
Given that this is called the Subcon Forest, I can only imagine that this was based on an actual business transaction that took place with the developers of the game.
Good choice. Let's prepare up for the task.
And this is, I mean, the Snatcher is clearly based on an evil boss, right?
You're looking for timepieces, right? I found one of them out hunting somewhere, so you can keep it, but this is the only time I'll reward you for completing parts of the contract. Because guess what? I'm not legally obligated to.
Okay, so actually, while we're here, we're going to clean the Subcon well because we get a badge in there that's very important. And we need it to finish Battle of the Birds. So while I'm over here, I'm just going to do that. It also might get us enough pieces for our next mask, which would be nice because we're going to need that to complete the Subcon Forest. In addition to lots of other stuff, the Dweller Mask is pretty useful. Gets a lot of play throughout the game. And I believe the Subcon well gets us the last thing we need. It's like this, and then there's one more hat after the Forest Dweller's Mask. So there's only so many things we need before levels will... You know, how they'll be X'd off. I think I showed that off earlier. If not, I really should have. But since we don't have what we're about to get from the Subcon well, we were not able to enter the Train Rush, which is the Conductor's second film. Okay, 1 second, please. Alright, I'm back. We're going to do the Subcon well, but I'm also going to get these guys some paintings real quick, because you don't have to go far out of your way for this one. And it will open up barriers, which we need to do if we're going to 100% out this level. Plus, it just makes it way less of a pain in the ass to get around if you have all the barriers cleared up. So, the swamp, it operates on these rules where you can be in it, but you move slower. And if you stay in it too long, these evil hands come up, and they drag you under and you die. But if you're even just up on solid ground for a quarter of a second, it'll go away, and then you're safe, good to go. So you can be pretty forgiving, like a lot of the mechanics in this game, which I am a huge fan of.
Objects from other dimensions come into focus.
Oh yeah, this is the bells mechanic. Do we need the mask for this? Did I go the right way? I think this is the right way. If not, it'll be lucrative. Where is that bell? Oh, it's way over there. So we need to use the swamp's mechanics. There we go. Oh, this is the well itself. Alright, easy peasy. So these bells, you hit them and they send out this expanding field wave. It makes green objects solid and causes translucent purple objects, or it causes translucent green objects to become solid, and it causes solid purple objects to become translucent. There's an anti-version of that bell that does the opposite. And the Subcon Forest is really built around all of those. The deal with the Dweller Mask, which we'll see later, is that it is a sort of superior version of both with a cooldown. And sometimes, so it allows us to do that stuff when there aren't any bells around, and it also allows us to forego the bells in certain places. Hey, we got the train! So the subgun well is one of my favorite little platforming areas. It's very fun. It's got some cool stuff going for it. And a really excellent design just in terms of constantly building upward. Again, getting us used to the cherries. Oh, that was too far away, but it'll still go off. It just didn't auto-blow up. So this is the hookshot badge. We get a hookshot. It's integral to the platforming from this point forward. I'm going to replace the parasol badge with it for now. Oh, whoops. I meant to replace that. Okay. So how the hookshot badge works is that we get near a hookshotable object, we push X, and it lets us swing around. We can let it go and reapply it pretty much as we want. It resets all of our jumps and whatnot, so... Oh, come on. There we go. We're gonna go for that yarn over there. Because we're so close to the Dweller Mask. Yeah, we're 2 pieces of yarn down. So now the only thing left is to use our new hookshot to climb out. I should get these pawns too. I'm so used to... I play a lot on my 100% file and just mess around because it's fun to replay the levels. And so I'm not used to going after pawns, even though you need quite a few of them, and I really should be picking up all I can gather. And as demonstrated there, the hookshot can also be used to pull switches that require it. So now we're racing the water out of here. There's a very impressive video on YouTube of a speedrunner named Spyronite doing this without even getting their feet wet. Weird, okay. Didn't grab that ladder for some reason. Oh! Whew, that was fortunate. That could have gone way worse. Oop, 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 oop. Okay, we're good. We're fine. We're alive. A rift token. I wonder how many of those we have, actually. Let me see. Oh, we're up to 3! We can get a spin on the machine. Sweet! Good. We need more color palettes and hats. Oh yeah, I need this. Alright, so we've completed the subcon well. We have the hookshot, and now we can go back and finish off Battle of the Birds, which was our initial goal. I'm not sure we'll actually get to the finale today. I'm only planning to stream for about 2 hours total, means we got about 45 minutes left. And the finale to Battle of the Birds is really, really long, but I might just try to get it done anyway. I don't have anything terribly pressing going on right now, so... And I'm having fun. I'm enjoying myself. Oh, I almost forgot to show it off. There's a secret in Hat Kid's room. Now that we have unlocked the subcon well and the ice hat, we can show it off. So if you jump over this beam of light in the pillow fort and body slam, you get into her secret fort and you can read her diary, and she has a different thing to say after every level. And there are even entries in the game's memory for levels where you can't check the diary afterward because you can't possibly have gotten here yet. Yeah. They're not, I don't know. They're amusing, but they're really just Easter egg status. I don't think they're fantastic or anything. None of them are super funny. I probably am not going to remember to check all of them, so sorry about that. I'm sure you can find them on YouTube if you care that much. So our next stop is going to be the Big Parade. The song for this level is fantastic. It's a great big band piece. It's my favorite splash art. Check that out. And it's also just one of my favorite levels. Xander and I have, like, we danced to this song for months after the game came out. We finally got sick of it eventually, but, you know.
Hello, darling. Welcome to the largest studio set you'll ever see. We're about to start recording The Big Parade, the movie that'll take the breath away from audiences worldwide. You'll be the star, as always. For this movie, we'll need to use our special prop. It'll pop out at the very end. But wait, darling, your current outfit really isn't fit for the parade. Can you go over there and get dressed?
So, like I said, there's a plot-based level for each of them and a skill-based level for each of them, and this is the skill-based one for DJ Grooves.
You look great, darling. Don't worry, this movie is really easy. Keep moving around and the band will follow you. Just don't bump into them. And keep an eye out for goodies. The audience loves a good parade and will throw treats your way if you get near them. The parade lasts a while. Nothing you can do to speed it up. We'll let you know once we've got enough footage. Don't lose spirit. Good luck, darling.
So here we go, Big Parade. This is considered by many to be the hardest level in the game. I don't think that's accurate. I think probably the Twilight Bell or the Birdhouse is harder. But it's pretty tough. It kind of earns the distinction. My FPS is dropped through the floor, and I really don't know why. Hopefully that clears itself up in a second here. I think my video card might be overheating a little. So, we run around on the rooftops. We have these owls behind us. Oh no! Whoop! That almost went real bad. Oh! Oh no. Okay, we recovered. Got these owls following us. They will hit us, and not only will they damage us, but they will throw us, like, across the whole room. And often into other danger, so it's very important not to run into them. The audience will throw out these tokens for us. Oh boy, that's like running through molasses. I don't know what's going on there. We pick up these tokens, they increase our score at the end. If you die, you lose them all, which is what makes the score for this one real tough. And you may be watching so far and be saying, like, so what? This level doesn't seem that tough, just don't walk back directly into the owls. But it gets a lot harder as it goes on because you activate these new obstacles to spice up the movie. And boy, this one just turns into just a clusterfuck in a hurry. So the first thing we're going to do is turn on fireworks. This will, when we are finished, cause certain of the buildings, pretty much anything with a flat roof, to occasionally burst into a big sparkly fireworks display for about 10 seconds, and touching any part of it is damage at that point. And again, not just damage, but getting hurled back out into the crowd. The achievement for this level is to beat it without once getting knocked down into the crowd. I have it. It's one of the hardest achievements, and it's real, like, it's a pain in the ass. It took me months of trying. And I was playing almost every day because my son, again, really loves this level. So he'd sit up in my lap and play it with me. Introduce random toddler RNG by grabbing the buttons or the controller. But hey, you know, what's your priorities? So yeah, this is the game's version of an auto-scroller, which I really like. You can see in the lower right-hand corner, underneath my watermark, because I don't have the pro version of XSplit, that there's the counter going up and around. It tells you, it has all the information you need to know at every stage of the level. And it helps you just not get stuck in midair when a cutscene's about to start or something like that, because once all the blue fills up, you start the next phase of the level. Those little wires are kind of a pain in the butt to hit. I think they got updated, because they got easier, and I don't think it was me getting more skillful. I think the wires actually got easier to land on, because they seem to just be arbitrarily missable. So yeah, I think this is a really clever way to do a speedrunning friendly auto-scroller. Because speedrunners and their audiences just load auto-scrollers, you memorize them and you're done, right? But this one, you actually sort of trace your own path out through the level, which is very unique and interesting. But it still has a lot of the... Oh shoot, I skipped through that. Okay, so the point is now we gotta hit these buttons and they will turn on fireworks cannons. They're monstrous and horrible, and and they start firing before you turn one of them on, which I'm not sure, but I think is a bug. Oh, we made it! Okay. So, those fireworks cannons are relentless. They just shoot at you constantly. They seek you, and they blow up in these huge just novas of destruction. They throw you around like crazy, and they're, I mean, the most merciless and difficult enemies in the whole game, and you've got to deal with it on top of everything else that's going on in this level. You can just do little circuits of these houses and scrape them off on the roofs. They're not really impossible to shake or even really all that difficult. Up and into the crowd. That happens a lot. Oh, we're almost dead. That also happens a lot. This level's hard. And the worst part, IMO, is that it ramps up really fast in difficulty. So the first parts of it aren't very tough at all, but then you get to the very end of it and it's just merciless to you. So it makes getting a good score on this level very, very hard. And as a result, the conductor wins pretty much on everybody's first file. You gotta be going out of your way to help DJ groups win this thing, because the big parade is so hard. Although, as you can see, I'm pretty damn good at it. I got a lot of practice at this level. I play it pretty much every time I turn the thing on. And there you have it, big parade. Hey, a 552 on the big parade is not bad at all. That is... My high score on that's 788, and I'm pretty sure I have... I had, like, bug luck on that one. Like, it just kept spawning DJ Grooves tokens. I've heard that if you go a while without taking damage, it'll spawn more of them, so that might have been it too. I might have just had a really crazy run. So, next up is Train Rush. It's a fast level because it's a sort of a speed track. Oh, that wasn't what I wanted. That's okay, we can quit right out. The load times aren't bad. Especially when you're installed to an SSD. I think it's a little weird for the game to have a show you where to go next feature when it's so open-ended. I'm not saying they shouldn't have one at all, because I guess it's better than the... I think the fear is somebody quits playing for a couple of weeks because life happened, and then they come back, and it's like, well, what the hell, where did I leave this off? So it at least gives you a visual if that's your situation, but... Still think it's a little clunky.
Go on in. We're getting ready to shoot the biggest action movie in bird history. The movie is gonna be the bomb.
What could this cryptic foreshadowing mean?
Good way, Picnic.
See, even they lampshaded that. They had to.
Not everything I sell is of value. I also sell terrible badges, and yet people buy them anyway.
It's because I work for Electronic Arts. So, I'm currently out of pawns because I bought a bunch of levels. The Mumble badge makes characters talk like they're in Banjo-Kazooie. And the one-hit hero badge gives you 1 hit point. Those two are just personal preference. Oh look, a hookshot thing. This is a clever way of making sure I can't start the level without the hookshot, because you need it to complete the thing.
Lassie, listen up. I have some bad news. That lever you just pulled, it starts the train self-destruct sequence, and that ain't no joke. It'll blow up. I need a movie with some real intense action. So that's what we're gonna do. The train's gonna blow in a few minutes. But you can save us all, Lassie. Get to the switch at the front of the train to turn it off. And you better make it in time, alright? I don't care about the owls or yourself, but you don't dare blow up me train for real. It's my baby. The cameras are gonna be rolling, Lassie. You hurry now. Go over and out.
Alright. So we can collect those clocks that give us additional time. The achievement for this level, which I have not gotten, is to beat it without getting any of them. And that's both because it's very difficult and because you have to avoid the clocks if you do it that way, because a lot of them are right in your path. So this level is actually real tough, and I'm not great at it, so you may see me. I probably won't fail, but I might die once or twice. Oh boy, that was like the worst I could have done that without taking any damage. Oh no! Hook shot. Yeah, I'm gonna let the visuals speak for themselves on this one because I'm gonna have to concentrate. Hardest part of the achievement right there, because you have to skip that clock. Oh! Man, I belly dashed at the last possible second. Fortunately, it looks like it's letting me keep my progress here, which is nice of them. I'm not really sure what you're supposed to do to avoid that guy. The other ones, there's kind of a... You know, they're at one side of the platform or the other. Yeah, okay. Trying to get all fancy. And that's Train Rush.
Oh, you made it! And in time! Oh, look at all this raw footage we got! Look at how you're running for dear life!
I really don't mind that this guy's the final boss most of the time, because it's real nice to punch him in the face.
Oh, what? We did it in the name of cinematography, and to beat that no-good DJ Grooves. I bet he won't be able to make half the movie we just made. Alright, here, take one of these, thingamajigs you like. You deserve it.
And if I'm not mistaken, that gets us to the finale. So, next up, we're gonna find out who won. Oh, looks like him by just a sliver. Well, that's alright. Like I say, he's more fun to punch anyway. His voice performance during the final boss fight's pretty great, too. Oh, and look, we have enough for that, so we better go do that. We don't have to do the first level or anything, I just need to open the door, or it's gonna do that at me every time. And we've unlocked all 4 worlds now. All that's left is the finale. We need 11 more timepieces for it, but we're totally getting all 40. So, we'll do the finale. I got about a half hour, and even if it takes me a little longer than that, I can push through it, so... Oh... Yeah, okay. We'll stop and do the big parade timepiece first, because that should be pretty quick. It's hard, but it's not, like, super long. I don't believe we need to start the parade in order to spawn the timepiece, so I can just run over to it real quick. Oh boy, if I remember where it is. Pretty sure. It's right over here? No? Yes, no, yes? Okay. There it is. I know it was right off the central building, so... Alright, so this is it. Many consider this to be the hardest time rift in the game. Hopefully I don't die. I've died on this a bunch before, so I'm certainly not above it. Can I just say that I really, really like the soundtrack for the time rifts? It's just gorgeous. Okay. Spaced that very wrong. Now you can see all the owls falling because they're following me off the platform. Just like our children being led into the clutches of Satan by the insidious fidget spinners. I don't know what's up with the cookies. I think it's just supposed to be a dreamlike atmosphere. Let's see. So, yeah, it shows me where these wires are. Oh, no, I unlocked it. I just need to... Oh, this turned into a mess. That's kind of the deal. Oh, come on. That's kind of the deal with this time rift, is that controlling the owls is difficult and necessary, and I'm dead already. It's a good time. And that starts the time rift over, I believe. Looks like it started me... Oh no, it's like a checkpoint sort of thing. Wee belly slide! That didn't work. Okay. Note to, you know, don't get discouraged. It's alright. The time rift is still young. We've only got one embarrassing, humiliating failure under our belt. There's plenty more to go. Okay, but now we know where we're actually headed this time, so that's a plus. There we go. The no bonk badge is fantastic for this level. Okay. We need to clear the owls out of here. Unfortunately, they got a pretty long tail on them. Okay, there we go. Oh, I didn't quite get on it in time. I misread which I misremembered which platform it was going to be. Here we go. The old under technique. The no bonk badge makes that a lot easier because you can just dash into the wall instead of having to carefully position your jump to carry you through. The secret, as always, is cheating. That's a fun skip. Haha! You thought I was dead. Oh ye of little faith, you disgust me. Get out. I'm just kidding. Make sure to smash that like button. Whoa. Okay. Quite alright. Because I think that's the buttons I needed to hit anyway, yeah. So all that's left is this bad boy. And there we go! Hardest time rift, no problem. Only like, what, 1, 2 deaths? totally acceptable. Alright, get some good. The remixes are actually very good, but I just don't replay the levels enough to really... Santa! Oh, well, I guess we're getting the Santa hat. That's cool. So, now that we have multiple ice hats, we'd be able to pick between the looks of all of them and whatnot. But I'm not gonna bother with it, because we got a finale to do, people. Into the basement of Big Bird Studios. So, spoilers, I'm getting a little ahead of myself here. Oh, I guess I shouldn't have skipped through those. It's kind of funny. He seems pretty smug about it. Are you sure you want him to win?
Thank you, thank you. Oh, you're too kind. No, no, please. Oh, Lassie, it's you. I did it. I won the annual Bird Movie Award once again. Oh, imagine that face DJ Grooves must be pulling now, eh? Here, take this tiny, insignificant movie prop to match your tiny, insignificant efforts in securing my victory. Yeah, I can probably sell it on eBird for dimes and nickels. What? You're expecting more or something? Forget it. Go! Shush! Get out of here! I never want to see your ugly mug again!
Oh, I hope I get to beat your ass in a boss fight. Jerk. Jerk! Okay, so we're starting our last level for Battle of the Birds here, because we gotta go back. We gotta go back to where it all began. Oh wait, this isn't right. I did the finale. I got the timepiece for that. Oh, that's okay. So I have to go back into the finale. It's a little confusing because it lets you get back into the awards ceremony section later, but it doesn't. It just reuses the map spots. So wait, what? I mean, I thought you were supposed to get like a phone call. Oh, you know what? Silly me. You have to get a phone call in your spaceship. I forgot about that.
The annual Bird Movie Award was rigged. It was an inside job. No one knows about the power of the timepieces. He's been keeping one, and he's going to break it.
Gasp!
That's what lies buried underneath Dead Bird Studio. What goes on in Dead Bird Studio when no one is around? Below the cover on this thing, darling.
Subtle hint to the identity of the voice on the phone, which I believe alternates depending on who wins. So now we go back to Dead Bird Studio. We come back at night, sneak our way in, and here starts maybe the longest level in the game. It's very long. It's pretty tough. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm not fantastic at it, but we'll see how we do. The first part of it is kind of a retread of earlier content, right, but in the dark, so it's a little more... I think actually a little easier, just because you don't have the stuff to deal with. A little different in terms of platforming. Oh, and way easier to go pick this thing up. That was for my hubris, no doubt. Take my time, line the jump up. Fail anyway. I don't think you're supposed to get this way, but I'm gonna. Ah, we're 1 yarn short, man. 1 yarn. Short. Man. It's okay, there's more yarn down here. Pretty sure. Oh, we got our crime-solving finger gun up again. Because we're solving a crime. Little Crime Stoppers. And boy, are you in this elevator a while. So we're gonna practice it by doing really disorienting things to the camera. And watching my FPS drop into the single digits for a sec. Yeah. WTB better case. PM with offer. Enchanting 300 LFW. I love the stealth theme for this level. It's very Harry Gregson Williams. The soundtrack by Pascal Michael Stiefel is an absolute gem. I recommend it. It's cheap. It's like $10. It's very, very good. And everybody thinks, like, Grant Kirkhope, the composer for Banjo-Kazooie, did one track on this. And it is a persistent piece of misinformation around the internet that he composed the whole soundtrack. It makes me very angry. Because Pascal Michael Stiefel did an amazing job, and he's not getting any credit because a famous person contributed a tiny amount to the project. And, mad respect for Grant Kirkhope, he's a great composer too, I just, you know, pisses me off. The whole point of this indie gaming scene is that people who aren't gigantic names with established connections in the industry can finally get their due, and even on one of the most incredible, this project had a team of 8 people working on it, man. 8, and a budget of $300,000 raised entirely by Kickstarter. If there should be a success story about, you know, indies who didn't need no man, strong independent indies, then this was absolutely the one. Wow, I made that jump first try. That never happens. I'm really atrocious at that jump. Oh, wait. I think... Yeah, okay. So we remember over here. There's this hole. Or there's this room we couldn't get into. There's a hole over here that lets us inside to get the precious rift token within. I think we could just go out the way we came. But we do have to retrace this and do the jump I'm terrible at again, so that's a plus. Oh no! The path through this little area in particular gets a little annoying when you have collected the pawns, because there's nothing that guides you through it, and there's not a lot of good visual information on which direction you want to go. Otherwise, it's a little convoluted. Hey, that's enough for our Dweller mask. So we're gonna stitch that up real quick.
Gotcha.
It is the cutest hat, by far. I never get an alternate look for it. It is a fox mask with glowing green eyes, and when you hit the button, it puts out this field that lets you see like the spirits do, like the forest watchers do, whatever. And that makes those green platforms solid and allows you to pass through violet platforms. Gets a lot of use in the later half of the game. Not so much here, because normally we would not have unlocked them yet. These pipes are, remember earlier I was talking about how I feel like they're just objects that don't, like the game's engine clearly shouldn't handle an object of this shape. I think making that part of a major platforming challenge is a little spotty. Just because it's a little hard to tell how you're going to land on such a thing, or if you're going to land on such a thing. So because this level is so long, I do not regularly practice it. And it is also pretty damn tough. So we're gonna see how that pans out. As you may have calculated, our last piece, or our last hat, is gonna take 32 pieces of yarn to knit. So we need to start stockpiling that immediately. Not least of which because it's the best hat in the game power-wise, and absolutely breaks certain later sections, so it's absolutely worth having. Final Dungeon is a huge pain in the ass to get through without it, even though it is technically optional for all but 1 or 2 timepieces. There's some pretty neat contextual jokes around here too, so now we're in the deep storage. I get lost all the damn time in here, so hopefully this doesn't take forever. MacGuffins and Chekhov's guns. If you're not of a disposition where you write or discuss a lot of fiction, you might not know what those are, but these days I'm kind of thinking those are fairly common terms. I guess I'll describe them anyway, just for the YouTube video. So a MacGuffin is an object whose only value to the plot is that the characters want it. It's just an object of desire. Usually like the treasure in a pirate movie. The classic example is the briefcase in Pulp Fiction. Nothing, you know, what's in it is mysterious, but it doesn't really matter what's in it. Because the whole point is just that characters want it, and that's enough to drive the plot. That's a MacGuffin. Chekhov's gun is the blaster that Chekhov on Star Trek uses. But it is also... no, it was a playwright named Chekhov, and he said that if a gun is shown... Sorry, I had to shut up for the mumbling there for a sec. See, because we're in a... Okay. Chekhov's gun, the tropey term, the thing for fiction, is that if a gun is shown on the mantle in the first act, it must be fired by the third. And the idea is setting up and paying off stuff to happen later, and specifically not setting up stuff that you're not going to pay off. It's about economy, it's about audience expectations, and it's kind of a subtle thing that goes wrong with a lot of stories, right? Is that the author sort of looked like they were setting stuff up that they're not going to pay off ever. And oh boy, yeah. So, part of the problem is this particular room. I'm real bad at this platforming part, and not least of which because I frequently have no idea where the F to go. Especially after I've cleared the ponds. Once you land once or twice, it's just very tough to figure out, and I'm not a fan of the level design in this particular spot. And not just because I'm bad. Oh, that was quick. That shouldn't have been that fast. No real warning on that one. Oh my lord! Ah, I didn't see that was the... Alright, well let's talk, you know? Let's just do some chatting then. Who's seen some good movies recently? I've heard there's been some good stuff at the box office. I haven't really watched films. I have a toddler. I suppose so does most of my audience. All of my audience. Whatever.
Missing one feathers right as he was about to sneeze.
Okay, well that's alright. I at least got up here, which is a big step in the right direction. I will say that those red wires are pretty genius. Those are a good idea. Or at the very least, if not genius, then at least a serviceable good idea that they stuck with. Because it does prevent you from just being completely lost in terms of where you need to go. And it's just good visual design, man. They're easy to follow in the dark. And they also add a lot of color to the level, which it would otherwise sorely lack. And that's a big problem with stealth games, right? Is that you're setting a lot of them in the dark, stealth or horror, you're doing a lot of dark stuff, and it can be hard to strike the right tone. These pawns, yeah. Once again, nice design, gives you the right idea about what to do. But once the pawns are gone, if you come back in here blind, you're just, you know, you gotta figure that out again. That camera we can just cheese. So this is the dressing room, the glass room. So the other thing I like about this labyrinthine level is that, you know, it still somewhat manages to feel like a real place where people do a job, even though it's obviously laid out like a maze. At least as far as Mafia Town feels like a town or anything, right? It's on the same, at least, sort of... That ought to be enough to fool my brain, right? See this guy? Rubbing a sandwich on his head? Yeah, there it is. Okay. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Oh well, we can get back up. Pretty sure. Or we just go back through and... Yeah. Hey, what's that? Oh, a sparkly... Okay, that's from the Moon set, I believe. DJ Grooves. There we go. Oh, man. I almost recovered. Well, I'm actually moving through this at a pretty decent clip. Usually I'd be stuck in one of those two previous rooms for like 20 straight minutes, so glad that didn't happen. I'm not playing brilliant here, but at least I'm not playing just terrible. Oh. Well, that's just a piece of yarn, I'm pretty sure. It might be a relic. I can come back for it later. It's not a big deal. For right now, I'm just trying to show the level off. I'm not going to comb it for the secrets. Especially because I don't know where that is off the top of my head, so... Man, there's another room, too, that shows the award, and there's some other hints, and I'm kinda sad I missed that. But here's the boss fight. It's a lot of fun. Let's do this.
Look who we've got here. I guess you found my little basement, eh? This last timepiece is all mine. If you want it, you're gonna have to take it from me cold, dead hands.
Okay, so first phase. He dives at you. He creates these shock waves. The impact of the disco ball will stun you. He drops stuff from the ceiling. If you're over him, you can just homing attack onto him when he lands, but I didn't time it right. Here comes more stuff. And that's a hit. Oh yeah, if you do well during the boss fights, the crowd showers you with health, which is nice because these boss fights go forever. So here he comes at me with a knife. in the dark. And here he just kind of spams attack and runs toward you, and leaves himself total prey for the brewing hat. Oh, tricky. We're in phase 2 now, so he hesitates before he drops that. He also starts with the knife attacks. Ah, shoot. I was pointed the wrong way. That attack is actually kind of a pain in the ass to deal with unless you just shoot him with the brewing hat, so... I like the way this one uses your kit. I like this boss fight in general, it's very good. Oh, here comes the hard part. Alright. That gets tougher later on, so now he summons 2 fakes. They will hurt you, though. So the trick is to time your double jumps such that you are in the air when those hit. Oh, Odo! Alright. That's why we saved the health out. Ah! I got distracted for a second there. Oh man, perfect. That's his toughest attack to dodge by far. So of course he's gonna do about 50 times. There we go. I got hit by the second disco ball impact. I was on the ground. Homing attack!
You've got it now!
And then you just pull an Undertale and stop your fight for a friendly chat.
Have a little heart-to-heart. Have a seat, lassie. Ever since you arrived on this planet, these timepieces have been falling from the sky. Now, I can understand if you feel they belong to you. I get it. But did you know I can rewind time with one timepiece? I can reclaim the trophy that belongs to me. That's right. The loss of Award 42.
I think I skipped this in the dialogue earlier, but that is the only one that DJ Grooves has won instead of the conductor.
I got second place at the 42nd Annual Baird Awards. Me! Can you imagine? DJ Grooves managed to get the first place trophy. I need just one timepiece to fix this mistake. Can't you spare just one timepiece?
Nope.
Oh, you're a greedy young lass, aren't you? I just need a single one, and you won't share. Well, if you want this timepiece back so bad, come and get it!
I don't think I'm being all that unreasonable here. He tried to run me over with several cars, stab me with a knife, kill me with disco balls. That's a new one.
Remember this little bomb? This time, it's attached to you instead of me lovely train.
Yeah! So that's the new gimmick of the final phase. We gotta do enough damage to him to trigger the cutscene that saves us before the bomb goes off. Oh! Those spread real fast.
I'll find a way to defuse the bomb. My diffuser is ready! Come here!
I fucking love this game.
Can't believe I let you be the star of my movie!
And owls! Remember what I said about the boss fights being really long? Fortunately, there's checkpointing at the phases, so if I die, I don't have to go all the way back to the start of the fight, I believe. And that's the conductor. And that's also Deadbird Studios. What do you guys think? It's one of my favorite levels in all the video games. It's very unique. Got a ton of cool stuff in it. And the Subcon Forest is even better. So, next time I will show that off. For now, wow, we exactly 2 hours, so that's great. I'm gonna go ahead and call this one an episode. Thanks for tuning in, you guys. It was real fun. We'll finish up the 3rd level next time, and then probably do some 4th level. We'll have an episode of cleanup, and then we'll do the finale once we've got all 40 timepieces. So, I'm anticipating at least a couple more episodes on this thing, and then after that I'm thinking going back to Banjo-Kazooie, because I've had some requests for that. Oh yeah, no, doing that fight with a toddler in your lap is a whole nother level of, like... I'm actually kind of... you know how in Dragon Ball Z they train in 100 times Earth gravity in weighted training clothes so that they can grow stronger and warp and deform their bones? I feel like I played that way so long, just having a toddler in my lap fiddling with the buttons while I'm trying to play, or standing up in front of the screen while I'm trying to watch what's going on. And now, I mean, God, I could almost no-hit that fight if I had been trying really hard. I did so well. Usually that one kills me a couple of times, so it just feels very powerful and nice. Oh yeah, so unlocking different hats opens up different spots on the ship, but I suppose I will show that off later, because there's a time rift in here. That'll be a nice cliffhanger. We will see you guys later. Thanks so much for tuning in. Have a nice day.